we have more tiers. Icon, edition, midfielders, all of them. What's happening, my beautiful people? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. You see broken, rank 1, foot champs, debatable, the pine. If you're new in these parts, like it, subscribe it. Welcome. For the return visitors, we're gonna have a special Dirty Mike return today. If you're looking for gameplay for all of these icons, second channel, playbook, it's there. Tips, tutorials, that type of goodness. If you agree or you disagree, we have a comment section. Let's get to the goods. Michael Ballot, one of the best for dealing with those 87 pack pull SBC. If you got him, you appreciated that pickup. The man is a commander-in-chief. Apparently, I'm suggesting that he runs for president. Got to start out with at least foot champs. He might even move into some sort of rank 1 discussion. I got to feel it out. We got a lot of talent, and I don't want to discredit anyone. About as balanced as one can be. And icons in general this year, because so many of these players have playstyle on playstyle on playstyle. They're on deck. It's allowed for icons to make major growth in stride, even if they weren't as overpowered in previous iterations. He's gonna have a presence in the middies. Desai, who I would prefer as a center back, and for that reason, I'm putting him into the debate. The man is a locomotive. You're not stopping him. He gives you a shoulder, you're getting rolled on. When I decipher in place all the icon defenders, I will also allow Desai to have dual citizenship. He's going to be joining that list as well. Michael Essien scores some bangers at Chelsea. The man's gifted and talented. Hailing from Ghana, disrupting midfields, and has the playstyle plus for jockey, which I feel is one of the most underrated playstyles. Not talked about enough, not brought into discussion boards. I don't see it in comment sections. And I might do an updated video because I did an initial playstyle tiers, but the game's already shifted. We've seen a major patch. We've had more time to digest and dissect all the above. Gattuso, he's built like a terrier, but he's angry all the time. Extremely aggressive, kind of one-sided, one-dimensional. I'm not trying to discredit or take away from what Gattuso accomplished, his value on the actual pitch, but we're talking about a video game in a simulation. Generally speaking, I want a little more dynamic capability. Haji, if you're Romanian, such as a good friend of mine, Ovi, shout out to Ovi, you might have him higher up in your list. Debatable is what's right. He can facilitate, he can make something happen, he could score a shot from outside the box, but he's not built with that physical nature, plenty of nurture. He's not giving you the athletic gifts, and he's not good enough truly as a box-to-box midfielder, and definitely not as a holding midfielder to play those types of roles. Keane, unfortunately, a similar fate to Gattuso.
This game is brutal.
He's going to the bench. You already have midfielders before you come after me that are better than Gattuso and better than Keane. There's no debate. In fact, I would argue if you've been grinding this game, even without a financial investment, you're likely to already have 3 or 4 players that are significantly better in this position. Tell me I'm lying. It is about to get negative. Laudrup, we're turning toxic. He is going to be a hero next year, downgraded like Rui Costa. Now, I'm not necessarily wishing that upon him, but I am manifesting and I am making a statement that I believe that's what's going to happen. EA gave him the trickster playstyle, and he's still in no rotations, getting no minutes. There's no belief. The Dane is not being used by the Danes. I'm not sure that I've gone up against a Laudrup in the last 2 or 3 years. We're talking thousands of games played. Makaleli on the come up. I'm surprised because in previous years, we just talk and yell and scream and insert superlatives around Conte, his similar counterpart. Makaleli's got the juice this year. He's got the bump. He's got the extra helpers. He is all over that midfield. Still not going to score goals. Not going to be an offensive maestro or a genius or give you moments of ingenuity. But the way that he breaks up plays, his relentless chase back, is everlasting. I'm disgruntled. Am I wordsmithing enough today? Foot champs, for sure. Petite, I'm on board with this come up, this comeback, this revitalization. Petite should have been an extra in Troy alongside Brad Pitt. Or at least throw my man into 300. That has nothing to do with him being in foot champs, but it's on my mind. Put the man in a sequel. He's got the strength, he's got the power, he's got the physique, but still there's a little bit of grace. And truly, he reminds me, and I have a bias, but I was there for the FIFA 17 and FIFA 18, that collaboration between Petite and Ruud Gullit. It was Tom and Jerry. It was Mickey Mouse and Daffy Duck. I'm not sure that one flowed. It was Target and Alex. I don't even know if I got that one right. It was DiGiorno and Frozen Pizza. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant. Probably only need one basketball reference. That was the ordeal. That was your midfield. And good luck breaking it down. Petit's back to that status symbol. Rijkaard. He's a Rottweiler. He's joining the foot champs. A lot of these 87s, even 86, they're in the mix. And similar to a few players that will be on this list, Rijkaard will feature in the defender video as well. I'd happily go on record. I prefer him as a center back compared to a holding midfielder, but he is an excellent holding midfielder. Seedorf, we've had good experiences, plenty of exchanges. I do make the video for the macro. There might be more question marks this year comparatively just because of the depth and the options we have in the midfield. I'm not mad if you push him into a foot champs conversation. I'm just looking at who we have there currently, and I'm not sure if it's mandatory that Seedorf starts off in foot champs, but he's not going to be a liability for you. In fact, pretty good value. Last time I checked, 150,000 coins. I don't know if there's been a lot of movement. I didn't double down. I could do one search. Let's do one search. 129,000 coins. The Argentine, Varane, I'm not trying to force it. There's not a lot for us to say. I guarantee he has not been in one of your rotations. He's not a regular for you. He just gets swept under the rug. And I'm not saying that it's fair or that it's doing any sort of justice. I'm just talking about players being included or inclusive, making a difference, being an asset. I don't think Varane really is. On the opposite end, Patrick Vieira, straight to broken. As it stands, there's not a more dominant holding midfielder. And if you'd like to, and you can, Vieira can double down as a center back. Last year, we saw him used in the pro scene primarily as a center back. FC Pro is also around the corner. The reality, he's a menace. He's controlling. He's got an elite body type. He's got the play styles to match. You shall not pass. He's just a giant, like Mario after a few mushrooms. Not those types of mushrooms. Maybe those types of mushrooms. Was Mario thinking about actual mushrooms? What is the origin of the mushrooms? I just realized while recording this video that the creators of Mario might have been on mushrooms. That's an odd inclusion. Just hear me out. But the amount of mushrooms and the inclusion of special powers growth via consumption of these mushrooms, I'm starting to believe that these developers were on some extracurriculars. I don't think it can be proven, but simply put, if Vieira is in your starting 11, you will get more wins. He's at that level of elite, problematic, undeniable, unfallible, just pure broken status. Xavi Alonso, did he deserve to be an icon or should he have been a hero? I think he's on the cusp. And unfortunately, like some of his comrades in the Pine, real life ability has not transcended to the virtual pitch. Stevie G, I'm optimistic this year. He's better than he was. It's a lot of fanboys of Steven Gerrard, understandably so. He's not meta, but he's improved due to play styles. Therefore, I believe you could find a role, and it makes him the definition of debatable depending who you speak with. Riquelme, what a player. Excelente, easy on the eyes, smooth operator, ambitious, creative, deceptive, visionary, 2020 delivery, well weighted, on point and in line. I only have so many positives. I respect him. I rate Riquelme as just an especial player, and I gave all these positives, and I don't think I can get him off the Pine. We can roll some highlights. We can throw in some shout outs. I'm happy to co-sign or work with a petition to get Riquelme a little more usable. I'm not sure what it will take. He does have the skills. He has the facilitation, but he lacks the body type and the pace and the strength and some of these fundamental, foundational characteristics that we know play into overpowered, high-level talent pool of professional. I don't make the rules. I just give you my opinion based on what I know. Paul Scholes. Scholesy. Saw a video recently, they titled it The Einstein of Football, or The Einstein of the Midfield. There's not many that are better pure talent. This is one of the most average body types or physical characteristic, elite level talent. He's never been the fastest or the quickest, the strongest. None of the above. I still think he's going to go to the Pine because we're talking about a video game. But I would put Scholes in front of the likes of Lampard, in front of the likes of Steven Gerrard. If I was making my list, those three midfielders come into the debate time and time again. And I understand if you choose any of the three. Lampard was the best goal scorer in terms of always having production of goals. As a midfielder, incredible. Gerrard, I would say, is the most balanced if you're looking for offense and defense. And then Scholes just had something special, from technique to reading of the game, big moments, big plays. There's this famous clip that's been cut up with Thierry Henry describing who he would have liked to play with. Roll the clip.
I have to go with Paul Scholes. And I love CVG, but I have to go with Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes was just a head in his head. He was making them tick. He was making Man United tick. Every time we were playing them, we needed to find a way to stop him.
That'll be my answer. Schweinsteiger. This guy's got calf muscles. And we've seen him play a variety of positions throughout his career. I'm trying to be harsh with this. As it stands, I'm leaning towards debatable, even though he has so many stats in the right places. I've actually enjoyed using him more as a center back than even a holding mid. He is brawly, big body type, thick with 2 C's. Apparently that's what we're doing in this video. Camille Abeli, crazy statistics. I've gone up against her a few times this year. She has dominated the midfield. It has to be at least rank 1. I'm not sure that I'm ready to give her broken. I don't know if she's going to join Vieira, but I don't want her to be slept on. I don't want any disrespect. I want to make sure that you know exactly how impactful she will be in your midfield. The price tag supports it because many of you watching this don't know her history, haven't followed her competitive career. Myself included. I had to do some research, some backtracking to truly get the insider scoop. Moving on. Kaká. I might have a bias. I'm putting him into rank 1. Did I mention I might have a bias? One of my best memories in this creator space is that I had the opportunity to share the actual pitch with Kaká. There's a picture to prove it. One of my favorite players growing up, Ballon d'Or winner, a brilliant talent, and just as graceful as you could come. Lothar, the Madhouse. Also, recently had the opportunity to meet Lothar in Germany. Man's violent in the midfield. He dictates what happens and when it happens. He's spending plenty of time in the gym. Still got too much aggression. I'm tempted to team him up with Vieira. I'm really coveting this broken sector or section within midfielders with icons. It seems that way. Socrates. What a name. Often referred to as the doctor. Of course, had a degree as a medical practitioner. Just an interesting individual from his appearances on TV, political activism, the medical angle. And I believe he got that degree and he was studying while he was also playing as a pro footballer. I don't want to act as if I'm the say-all be-all of this Brazilian's career, but I have watched a couple mini documentaries. I did some quick reads. And Socrates is just an interesting individual. But shout out to Socrates. Watch back some highlights. You'll enjoy those. I guarantee it. Ruud Gullit. And again, this is why we're safeguarding the broken category. He's got to be there. Got the brand new iteration with the Centurion, which has not had any hype thus far. That promo feels like it's fallen a little bit flat. I just want the return of Ultimate Scream and Foot Miss. These are the good old times. Throw it back, lean into the seasons and the themes, the elements of surprise, if you will. Ruud Gullit plays football in the way that you wish you could. And then he ends up being 6'3" or 6'4". I don't know his list stat. Is there a more talented midfielder? Elusive, powerful, commanding, intervening, disruptive, fluid, tactical, sensation. I can just keep going on with superlatives around Ruud Gullit, both on the pitch and the virtual pitch. He's a unique talent that's unorthodox and gave you a little bit of everything. Pirlo, gotta go to the debate. He's clean and crispy on the ball. When I think of Pirlo, I just imagine good weather, sun hitting you just right, the flow of the hair. He's got himself a suit jacket on, a fresh white dress shirt, clean and starched, maybe some matching chinos, some sort of dress pant that leans into some loafers, and he's about to enjoy a couple glasses of wine at some vineyard in Italy. That seems descriptive, but that's how I think of Pirlo off the pitch and maybe even on the pitch. One of the best to ever do it for Italy and just made it look so effortless. Unfortunately, some of those skills don't translate to the virtual pitch, and I still have no idea how he finagled or finessed 5-star skills. I have all the respect in the world for Pirlo, but I would not describe him as a skiller, at least not at that degree. Sawa, and she has a famous World Cup goal. This incredible finish. Comes off maybe like a back heel on a corner kick. Clear. Night is day, day is night. Rank 1. She will do what needs to be done in the midfield. Xavi. I'm giving him the debate. I'll never forget that Barcelona team. The way that they escalated or almost defined what tiki-taka actually is. I had a new definition and it became, oh, you mean like Barcelona. To this day, I don't think there's been a midfield created that kept the ball like that against the best players in the world and just made them seem so average, so regular, so ordinary. You could watch that Barcelona team and almost rock yourself to sleep as they're building up before they find that final pinpoint pass and they just tap it home. I'm not sure Barcelona fans would support the way that I maybe painted or pushed that narrative, but what a team. Zinedine Zidane. We haven't seen another like him. We talk about grace or elegance, composure. Outside of the headbutt, we've all seen the headbutt. Just this natural beauty to playing the sport. And then again, you have to add in that he is 6'2", 6'3". This is not a small individual. The combination of footwork and reading the game and just having this magnificent intellectual property. Talk about the beautiful game. You have to reference Zidane when you think about some of the best to do it and look good doing. Philipp Lahm, I bumped him into the midfield. Obviously, he'll be featured in the defensive videos as well. Comes into the debate as a midfielder, a little undersized, runs all day, can facilitate, can pass and move, can overlap, can chase back, which has been a definite theme this far in FC 24. Depending who you're talking to, he could probably move his way up or potentially talk to the pine. Maybe not. I think most people would have him as a debate. Beckham, as influential as you could ever ask for in the sport. I'm putting plenty of respect on his name, put him in the debate. He's not meant for video game success, at least not this item. Last year, he had a big improvement, an extra bump, if you will. EA addressed some of his conflicts. I always wondered if the Bend It Like Beckham movie actually had a thumbs up from Beckham and company for that name, for those naming rights. Surely you did. You have to have that, right? I'm just speaking out loud today. You're getting late night hashtag organics. Debate is what it's going to be. Nedved, I love him. And I double dipped with both Nedved and Beckham. I like him so much that I want him to be in the debate at least, but he's done a lot for the club. Mediocre Clout FC, Nedved being one of my favorite players, all-time great, but the game has caught up to him. You can put that on the record. There's a disclaimer. I already see one player that is missing from my list, Lampard. We're going to let Lampard join Gerrard. He's similar stats, so throw a big Lampard on screen and put him into the debatable. Let's do a little bit of a review session. See if we knock this out of the park. As for the pine, currently Scholes, and I know a lot of you have used the loan, so I don't think you're making that strong of a case for Scholes. You've used them. If you wanted to move Nedved down, you could. Maybe even the same for Beckham, depending how you're using them, what you need, where you got them positioned. I've got a lot of rich history with Seedorf. For that reason, I'm actually going to give Seedorf a little bit of a notch up. Schweinsteiger's not my favorite player to use. I understand if you have him in a higher category. Rank 1 and broken. This is simple to me. Vieira, Ruud Gullit, Zidane. Is there anyone that should join those three? Same level. The closest for me is Lothar. I'm sticking to that. I'm not getting past Vieira. I've been doing this all year thus far. I know we're only 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm not beating Vieira. It has not been a fun experience. What's right is right. If you don't want Kaká as your rank 1, so be it. He's in my rank 1. And I have a bias. I've been on record with that bias. We talk shop. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. There will also be additional videos on screen if you want to continue throughout the content pieces. I think I'm going to look to put out more longer, in-depth pieces in general on the channel. I appreciate all the support. And if you're brand new, it is free to subscribe. We have a lot more content coming out ASAP. ASAP.